the holidays, and it wouldn't be the holidays without religious displays at the Illinois State Capitol, where you've got multiple displays, and I want to get your reaction to the practice of these various religions that put up displays in the public square. 217-629-7970, that's the phone number here. You can also email bishoponair@gmail.com or find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Just search Bishop on Air, but the best way to do it is to call 217-629-7970. I will answer the phone and put you on air, and we will hear your thoughts to the religious displays at the Illinois State Capitol. So I got to the Capitol yesterday and saw a couple of dozen people standing around the rotunda, which is right in the middle. And if you haven't been there, it's gorgeous. You look up and you see just absolutely stunning stained glass up way up above you of the rotunda. It's gorgeous. It really is. It's stunning. And if you haven't seen it, what's wrong with you? Get into the state capitol and check it out. It's open to the public. And if you do go, you'll be able to see a variety of different displays of a religious nature. And in particular, they've got a large Christmas tree that's set up there that the Secretary of State's office put up. You've also got the menorah, a Jewish symbol set up, as well as a nativity scene that's set up, all privately funded. But there's also a display from the Satanic Church. Here is Minister Adam. He talks about some of the display there at the Satanic display inside the state capitol. Here again is Minister Adam talking about the Satanic Temple of Illinois display. And for radio listeners, he lays out what this display looks like.
Yeah, this year we decided to focus on the outrage around banned books, and so we selected a banned book, Copernicus's Revolutions of the Heavenly Spheres, published in 1543 and banned by the Catholic Church for over 200 years. This sits on a plinth with a basket of hand-knit apples as well as a 12-foot crocheted snake. Members of the congregation all put this together, and that's what we're featuring this year as an affirmation of our satanic values.
So what are those values of the Satanic Church?
Empathy, reason, a struggle for justice against injustices, a rejection of arbitrary authority and tyranny, and also existing in harmony within other religious areas. In other words, an equal and opposite pluralistic religious area.
And what does Minister Adam have to say to those who might be offended by their
Being offended
display?
is something that is more than welcome for them to be able to do. That's their right. But we have every right to be here, and we're not going to sanitize that message because someone else is offended by that.
And what about religious
Members of the Satanic Temple
holidays?
celebrate Sol Invictus on December 25th. Sol Invictus goes back to Roman times. It was more or less a celebration of the sun during that season.
And I also asked for some final thoughts
We
from
think it's
Minister
a
Adam.
beautiful affirmation of satanic values and a really great thing to see this holiday season. We'd encourage other religious groups to join us in here as well and put their own displays up too.
So your thoughts now at 217-629-7970. It is the question of the day as well, of the daily poll, where you can go and take that poll. And the question is, what do you think of the Satanic Temple display at the State Capitol Rotunda? They've got the First Amendment right to do that, just as any other group does, or other religious displays are okay, but this goes too far. Again, you can vote, and right now it says 54% of you, actually, let's check that, 64% of you say that they have a First Amendment right to do so. But I want to hear from you at 217-629-7970. That's the phone number here. What do you think of the religious displays? Not just the satanic display, but all the religious displays there. Again, you've got just gorgeous the rotunda, and then all of a sudden you see the Christmas tree, the menorah, you see other religious items like a nativity scene with baby Jesus, and then you get the Satanic Temple with their display of a crocheted snake. A crocheted snake, and it's wrapped around a bowl with knitted apples, and its snake's head is on top of a banned book. Some obvious symbolism there, and the Satanic Church wants to make sure that they're part of the religious conversation when it comes to having a display in the public arena. But some people might be pushing back on this, and I want to hear from you, your thoughts. Again, 217-629-7970, or you can email bishoponair@gmail.com. So, we obviously have free speech, and if there's going to be a space for these types of symbols, then all symbols should be allowed, right? Is that your thinking? Or have you ever are the thinking that, no, we should just stop doing this altogether and don't let any of these religious symbols in the public square? Let's go ahead and get to your phone calls, 217-629-7970. You're on WMAY.
Hey, Greg, with me being a reasonable guy exactly 3% of the time, I would, as far as the Satanic Church joining in, putting something up, could care less. That's their First Amendment right. But I would just as soon not see any religious stuff in the state capitol just for separation of church and state message going out. But that's just my opinion,
Yeah. And listen, I mean, the Secretary of State's office does have a large display with, a statement essentially saying that, hey, they allow this. The Supreme Court's required that these displays be allowed, but they are only allowed for a set time. For instance, when you go to the state capitol during a busy legislative session, there's tons of people down there. Some of them have, inflammatory statements written on signs. Others are kind of innocuous statements written on signs. You can't limit what's on that particular sign because of free expression and free speech. That includes religious symbols. So they do have to have that space set up. If they're going to allow any religious symbol set up, then they have to allow for all religious symbols set up. We have yet to see the Festivus poll, though. It's been a few years since the Festivus poll has been set up. What do you think about this? 217-629-7970. Good morning. You're on WMAY.
Hey, the main thing is Christ is still in Christmas. That's what it is all about. The word is in the name. I do particularly like the Satanic Church in there, but they do have a right, I guess. I just think it's funny in the account of Genesis, the symbol they use is still the one of God cursing the snake, putting him on his belly. So that's funny that they still remember their curse. So.
Well, and last week you had the group that were essentially dedicating the nativity scene. Beth Rogers, a local religious activist, I guess is one way you could characterize her. She said that, hey, God in the end, baby Jesus, smashed Satan's head, and the gates of hell will not prevail, she says. So,
Amen.
Interesting to hear that. I appreciate the call, 217-629-7970. Some people are going to push back and say, listen, Christmas is a pagan holiday. It has pagan roots. And if you look at, for instance, various theology and the origins of that, the sun rising and how, the guiding stars and all of these things really kind of do go back to pagan origins of sorts. But regardless, you've got competing religious symbols at the state capitol. Your thoughts? Good morning.
Here's my thing, Greg. If we're going to do this and they want to celebrate a holiday off or whatever, then the state of Illinois needs to give people another holiday off. But Christmas is taken.
Well, but but the Satanists themselves say they celebrate Soli Victus, which is a pagan holiday looking at the sun and honoring the sun.
What day is that on?
December 25th.
Oh, so they take the same holiday that Christianity has taken.
I think that they would argue that Christianity took the pagan holiday. At least that's what
show me their argument. But my point is, then they either need to work Christmas Day and then have their holiday another day, or the state of Illinois needs to acknowledge this and they need to give another holiday. And now we need to have another flag flying. I mean, we have the pride flag over the Capitol. Now we need to have the Christianity flag over the Capitol. We need to have the whatever these clowns call themselves over the Capitol. I mean, this could go on and on and on and on.
And we could have just an endless barrage of all kinds of religious symbols. And again, where's the Festivus poll? Appreciate the calls on this. It is Springfield's Morning News, but let's not forget the reason for the season, and that is to be kind to others. All right. So regardless of which religion it is you're a part of, Christianity, Satanism, just be kind to each other. All right. It is Springfield's Morning News on 92.7 WMAY.